I know.
Okay, I'll be refuting Kyle's claims about our policies. And first of all, we are shooting for level 5 autonomous cars, so cars will be fully autonomous and without much human input. When you talked about the fact that the sensors in the cars can only be detected at 30 meters, most cars themselves can stop within 30 meters. So when an autonomous car detects another autonomous car within 30 meters, it will be able to stop and prevent it from hitting that car. Other problems that he pointed out with autonomous cars were very early experimental models of autonomous cars. This technology is just emerging and is rapidly increasing in quality. And while we have problems today, in the future, these problems will be alleviated. Like what my partner pointed out is that Volkswagen will have a level 5 autonomous car by 2022. When he talked about the death of the Tesla driver, what he failed to mention was this was not a fully autonomous car. This was a level 2 autonomous car that had an autopilot feature. But with this autopilot feature, you are supposed to be alert and paying attention onto the road. And he was actually watching a Star Wars movie while not actually holding on to the car itself. So this isn't really a fault of autonomous cars itself, it's the fault of the driver because he did not follow the procedure that Tesla themselves have put forth for the autonomous cars. And when you mentioned that 14 cars of Google were close to being in severe accidents, it was actually 17 cars. But the thing is, all of those accidents that Google was involved in were caused by other people, not the autonomous car itself. It was caused by human drivers who were not paying attention and were hitting the Google cars themselves. And when you mentioned the final point about whether or not the car would hit the children or hit the light pole itself, in the first place, this is a moral decision that doesn't really affect our policy on the car. Not only that, the crash wouldn't occur in the first place, as the car would be smart enough not to actually hit the pole and avoid the children. So a lot of the points that he made were just problems with early autonomous cars. In the future, we're hoping to, and the problems that of other drivers hitting up the autonomous cars themselves, we're hoping to alleviate with more people adopting autonomous cars and an eventual ban on non-autonomous cars, so that there will be no problems with people driving into the autonomous cars in the first place. Okay, autonomous cars, he also failed to point out all the benefits that would come from autonomous cars. For example, he did not talk about the decrease in traffic that would come from autonomous cars. He did not talk about the fact that you would be able to use the time they're usually just sitting in traffic or sitting in a car. He didn't dispute the fact that you would be able to use that time to do something more productive. He also didn't talk about the fact that autonomous cars, he didn't really negate the fact that autonomous cars would save thousands of lives every single year because people would not be in the car accidents, and he didn't talk about the fact that autonomous cars reduce the amount of people who are also injured in car accidents themselves.